for some peace of mind. But TikTok said a gator drove a jeep through the blinds. Florida man's at it again with fireworks and a goat. And someone married a ghost in a Dollar Tree coat. Hey, what in the Walmart rapture is going on? Aliens dancing in a Waffle House song. Karen's got a taser in the checkout line. And Dr. Oz just adopted birds to fight off crime. Oh, I'm just sitting here scrolling, my jaw on the floor. The internet's a circus and I can't take no more. Yeah, when it's wildin', there's a raccoon in the sink. Someone robbed a Wendy's just to steal a frosty drink. A pastor's gone viral yelling about the end is near, while folks ride hoverboards in wedding gear. Yeah, what in the Walmart rapture is this mess? Florida's a movie, but it's filmed in VHS. Someone fed meth to a squirrel named Dave, and now he's in a cage just throwing rave. I'm just...
Good morning, everyone. I had to restart my computer because for some reason StreamYard wasn't picking up my camera. So, I am glad that this happened whatever this year is I'm on the internet. So I didn't have a coronary, like just a minor one. Thank you guys for the happy anniversary. I was just sitting here thinking in like the couple quiet moments before the stream starts. I was like, 11 years ago today, I was intent on evicting my middle child. So Christine, you share a birthday with he was my only winter baby. I was so excited, you guys, because I did this 6 times and I always managed to be pregnant, big, fat, uncomfortably pregnant, like in August. So I was ecstatic to have a winter baby. So I got him like this cute little outfit. Y'all, I had a hat. It was an owl. I was ready to have this little baby so I could bundle him up in all these winter things. And I was here for it. So I will say he was the only one, because look, I'm going to be real with you. If you are thinking of having children, if you are a woman, get the epidural. Don't let anyone shame you. I mean, unless you're really gung-ho about the natural labor. And in that case, you do you, boo. I'm just saying, get the epidural. Especially if your middle son happens to have the head the size of the equator. Because he is the only one TMI, but there is a point at which your wife is giving labor or in labor that they tell you to stop pushing, like that's an option, and just pant. I have never disregarded medical advice so hard in my freaking life, because they're like, okay, we're just going to hold just a little bit. I was like, I don't think you understand gravity physics or anything. He is my first and only 10-pound baby. So I tell you all of that to say that I cried when we took him home from the hospital, because y'all, I don't know why I was married to this idea of him wearing this stupid owl costume out of the hospital. But for some reason, it broke my soul open that his head was too fat to fit in the... My mom had to run out and get 3 to 6 month clothes, because all of the 0 to 3 months, he looked like a little sausage. He is a sweet little boy. He has grown into Bobby Hill. I swear, I don't know if they had a vision of my son and they made Bobby Hill, but he is Bobby Hill and I just love him to pieces. He's taken in Little Debbie's to his class. He's so excited today. They have to take in like wrapped baked goods, so that's what we're doing. And then let's see, housekeeping stuff. I will be I'll be heading over to watch Uvalde in the morning with Nick. I'm gonna head out though. I'm gonna pop out around 11. Have a anniversary lunch with Mr. Mo, and then I'll be back. We don't hang out too long. Oh, audio coffee, why'd you put that out in the universe? He's my sweetest little guy, though, which is so funny because he's built like a brick house. So people always assume that he's really into sports, and I feel kind of bad because I have to explain to them, no, he's not. He's not in sports. He likes, being in choir and stuff. And at least I feel good that we've always kind of said, hey, whatever you're into, be into. Obviously, sports weren't a big thing for me, but I do have kiddos in sports. We've got a lot of headlines today, and leading with true crime. It looks like there is shenanigans afoot, or at least the state and the judge is getting a little bit tired of defense shenanigans, delaying the Gilgo Beach case. Now, I don't know how much this is actually fundamentally the defense delaying things. I am guessing with a multiple homicide and possible serial homicide case would have a lot of discovery. So I don't know how much of this is a function of the mountains and mountains of discovery that they have to go through, as well as them formulating a strategy. So while it might be presented in this article that these defense attorneys are doing all these shenanigans, I haven't looked at the case, so I don't know if these motions are frivolous or not. But the judge seems to think they are, so, it doesn't really matter what I think. The judge seems to think these are bullshit. The Long Island judge in charge of the notorious Gilgo Beach serial murder case blew his stack on Tuesday, berating lawyers for the accused serial unaliver Rex Heuermann for dragging their feet. Judge Tim Mazie growled that he wants the case, which has slogged through the courts for more than 2 years, to go to trial sooner rather than later. This trial will begin after Labor Day, come hell or high water, he snapped. The outburst came as Heuermann's lawyer, Michael Brown, dropped a new batch of motions on the prosecution late Monday, once more challenging evidence in the case. And I think these are going to be challenges that this is a large case. This spans many years. This is going back, evidence in years and years and different tests. I'm sure that this is going to be a very complex case. I do want to cover this. I forgot how taxing live trials are, and I am so glad that Nick's hanging out with the Uvalde one. So I do need to get into this one because this one has been one I'm interested in. I just need like 5 more hours in the day. Now, Heuermann, 62, is charged with killing 7 women whose bodies were dumped along desolate stretches of Long Island between 1993 and 2010. Now, the killings remained unsolved for many decades before Suffolk County authorities reopened the cold cases, which led to Heuermann's arrest outside of his mid-Manhattan office in July 2023. Now, the very physically imposing large architect was initially charged with 3 of the murders, but was later linked to 7 bodies through new high-tech DNA matches, according to prosecutors. Now, Suffolk County DA Ray Tierney has linked Heuermann to Valerie Mack, 24, Jessica Taylor, 20, Megan Waterman, 22, Melissa Bartholomew, 24, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, 25, Amberlynn Costello, 27, and Sandra Castilla, 28. Now, all of the women were involved in working online in the SMEX trade. The new defense filings challenge about 20 of the search warrants executed in the investigation, citing constitutional grounds for suppressing some of the evidence that's being presented by prosecutors. Now, that does include challenges to DNA evidence, including a discarded pizza crust that led to Heuermann's arrest, and DNA drawn from an energy drink thrown in the trash by his daughter Victoria. If our government can go into our trash and take our DNA, learn everything about us, what's the purpose of having a Fourth Amendment anymore? Now, I do believe that this has been hashed out many years ago at the advent of DNA when if you throw something away, generally if you discard it, I think that it's okay for police to pick it up and get your DNA. It helped catch Sarah Lazarus or Stephanie Lazarus, and many other of these cold cases. So I think this has already been hammered out. I mean, the defense probably has to raise it. But, going through trash, getting things that you've discarded has been an investigative tool for a while. So nice try, I guess. He also denied that he was dragging his feet on the case. We've been working hard on this case, he said, and we will be prepared to try the case come Labor Day. Now, the state and county investigators have searched Heuermann's disheveled Massapequa home twice, allegedly uncovering computer files that also contain information that links him to the killings. Now, Tierney did score a big win in the case in September when Judge Mazie ruled that the DA's office may use DNA evidence at Heuermann's trial. On Tuesday, Tierney doubled down as he refused to consider a plea deal for Heuermann and said he shared the judge's impatience at the pace that this case has been moving forward. The judge was very explicit and we're ready. But Tierney added that he doesn't think that Brown is deliberately trying to delay proceedings, calling the tidal wave of court motions sort of the nature of business. So again, you start the article thinking out, oh, what is this defense doing? And then you get to the end of the article and realize that this is just a function of doing business. If the defense doesn't make these motions prior to going into court, he cannot raise any of these issues that they have with any of this evidence on appeal. So they must put these in. These must be on the record. And that's why I do find it not dogging on anyone. And this is not to start beef with anyone, but creators like Jeremy Hambley and some other like news creators, more newsy news type people, when they start talking about criminal cases, it's not that they are trying to give out misinformation. I don't think it's that. They're just very unaware of how court works. Just like I wouldn't, do very well if I was on a football trivia stream. I don't know about sports ball. So be mindful of that when, on either side, that creators lean. If they're not very used to court, things that are normal, run-of-the-mill, procedural can appear to be a bit dodgy. And that's why I say, if you hear something on a mainstream like defense being absolutely shady, maybe dig in a little bit to it, because it can be from a perspective of just they don't understand these are normal court things. I saw reporting where the judge allowing the alleged killer of Charlie Kirk to wear civilian clothes was, him siding with the defendant. No, and again, it could be something that you would interpret as that if you didn't know. But that's why I'm very clear to tell you when I don't know stuff, because I don't want you guys to get the impression that I am any sort of knowledgeable authority on just about anything. Look, I exempt myself from liability because who would listen to me? Just my general thing. So it does look like we are going to be getting this around Labor Day, which will be awesome. So I'll come back from Dollywood, I think, and then go straight into the Rex Heuermann trial. Now, in a sad update, it's very sad, and I do encourage anyone who's struggling this morning, anyone who needs to reach out, to talk to someone if you're dealing with some heavy stuff. It's not easy to ask for help. It's not easy to admit you're struggling, but the world is a better place because you are here, and there are people that will miss you deeply, and we never know how much impact we have on other people. So if you are struggling, do reach out. Do try to get help. Don't make a temporary darkness into a permanent one. The cause of death has been revealed for the Chicago special ed teacher after a 10-day search. Now, I did report yesterday that her body had been found. It does look like the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office has finished the autopsy and determined that she drowned in an apparent self-deletion. Quote, "I wish she knew how much of an impact she had and how much she was loved," said her niece. Now, the teacher worked at Robert Healy Elementary and vanished after a quiet night with her husband. She went to bed early after they watched a movie together, but when her husband, Antoine, woke up the next day, she wasn't at their home. Now, basically, this has all come out. I do know that there were a lot of suspicions and different things against the husband, and I always caution people to not jump to conclusions just because we've seen a lot of not so great husbands in the news. Let's treat each case. So my heart goes out to the family, the friends, and the students that she touched their lives. I have always been impressed with every single, special needs teachers that I've run into, because my kiddos, my boys, needed some help because they don't stop talking now, but they all needed speech therapy. So I've always been impressed with how sweet, caring, loving, giving every special need teacher I've ever met has been, and I can't imagine the loss that's being felt right now. And I do hope that the community and family are gathering around and together to kind of shoulder this together. And again, if you're struggling, if you need help, ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness. It just means you need someone to talk to. And it's important, and it's okay to talk and to get some of that stuff out. In another odd bit of news, there's really no segue that I can kind of amalgamate this morning, but a skeleton that washed ashore on a Washington beach has been identified as a former Oregon mayor who disappeared 20 years ago. Every time this woman appears on screen, you know that a gelfling just got sucked dry. Again, I feel like I need to do like a Crowder special, like Kathy Hochul is a Skeksis, changed my mind, Dark Crystal forever. I don't know. I mean, maybe political discourse has gotten too serious, and we just need to start making fun of people again and employing 1980s Jim Henson movies into our insults. I don't know. A skeleton that washed ashore on a beach in Washington state in 2006 has been positively identified as a former mayor who authorities had presumed drowned on a fishing trip in Oregon. Now, Clarence Edwin Ed Asher had been presumed dead after he disappeared while on a fishing trip in Tillamook Bay. Okay, on a completely aside, have y'all ever tried Tillamook ice cream? Look, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Okay, y'all, first of all, I've only bought it once, okay, because it's like $10 for that little bottle. And okay, the clearance, the great value shopper in me, can only justify this once in a while. But once in a while, I will get like a really nice thing of ice cream, and then I'll hide it, and sometimes I'll share with Mr. Mo. I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes I do not. But if you want to splurge and you like ice cream, the Tillamook ice cream is good. Now, what this has to do with finding a skeleton, I don't know, but that's what my brain thinks. I'm like, gosh, I really want some ice cream. God bless Mr. Mo. He lives with me. I'm like, ooh, they found a skeleton. Have you heard of ice cream? Only with Mo. Okay, so they didn't continue to search for him. They were just like, well, he's probably missing. I mean, I just assume as a mayor, maybe you're semi-important. and they like search for you a bit longer. Not like, well, it's been 3 days. Like, what are you going to do, Cletus? Asher was the former mayor of Fossil, Oregon, and was 72 when he disappeared. Now, authorities had determined that he drowned when his wife told him he didn't wear a life jacket and didn't know how. This man didn't know how to swim, didn't have a life jacket on, went into a boat. You know, okay, he was 73. In November 2006, skeletal remains did turn up on the beach of Tahola, an unincorporated village in the Quinault Indian Reservation, roughly 85 miles north of Tillamook Bay. The Grays Harbor County Sheriff's Office and the coroner's office did try to determine the identity of the remains, but didn't really land on any meaningful leads. The remains were listed in the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System at Grays Harbor as a John Doe, and they were eventually buried under, other mounting cases. They just couldn't really, find anything. Now, in 2025, forensic evidence from the case was submitted to Othram. So this is kind of the quintessential and I think only lab doing that kind of proprietary ancestry geology, more specializing in cold case and missing persons. I don't understand the scienceology behind all of it for real, but I do believe that they are the only lab doing a lot of these sort of cold case and genealogy link cases. Now, the company said that it created a detailed DNA profile, and from a sample from a relative of Asher's, they were able to link the skeleton to, the fossils of Fossil's lost mayor. Irony is sometimes great. I feel like we need Alanis Morissette here. Like, and isn't it ironic? The mayor of Fossil, play it safe. No, he didn't play it safe. He went into a boat when he couldn't swim and didn't have a lifeboat. I guess the mayor of Fossil decided to tell Darwin, fuck you. He went into a boat without a life jacket or knowing how to swim. I don't know. I'll work on the lyrics. We'll come up with a literarily accurate, ironic song. I swear we will. This is why my mom is like, do you ever think about the things that are coming out of your face hole? And I'm like, not generally. Thank you, MLS. And thanks for letting me, thanks for hanging out with us yesterday. Next time I pick a case, like a big, I am not doing another kid case for a while. Next time I want to do a kid case, just tell me no. No, you do not. No, you do not. So thank you very much, MLS. And thank you for the Lego advice. I have yet to start. I have a giant cat that looks exactly like Dingus. And okay, we are on full tangent at the moment. So I have this giant Lego cat that I have been terrified to open because I'm going to be real with you guys. I have not yet matured to the point where I can open a box and be held responsible for keeping all the pieces and or putting it together. So I reached out to Dave because I was like, I need to know someone who knows a lot about Legos. So I was like, do I buy a bottle of vodka before or after I start the Legos? And like, how drunk does one need to be to put the Lego pieces down? And yes, Nick is covering the hyperbolic case, not hyperbaric, sorry. He is doing a good job with that. I was that. Nick is great. I am looking forward to just a regular old red rum case after this. I am ready for a complete insanity case with nothing to do about politics. Well, it looks like we are getting more information about the alleged double killer in Ohio, well, of the Ohio dentist and his ex wife. It seems like he may also have been, well, a shitty husband and a shitty surgeon. I mean, malpractice. See, here's the thing: malpractice is a bit that. Look, I used to work in the medical profession. Every doctor has to carry liability insurance. There are certain professions and specialties that come with more malpractice. So while I did joke that, yeah, he's probably a shitty surgeon, again, allegedly in Minecraft, don't come at me. There could be there are people that do target surgeons, target doctors, try to get medical malpractice, try to get nuisance fees. So until I see the documentation, I do want to put that little aside out there just for, contemplation. Illinois surgeon Michael David McKee evaded a medical malpractice lawsuit for years before he allegedly took the life of his ex-wife and her dentist husband in their Ohio home in December. Now, McKee was a 39-year-old vascular surgeon and allegedly failed to train a physician's assistant, leading to a patient being injured during treatment and needing emergency surgery. Okay, yeah, this is not one of them cases. This does sound like because there are certain procedures that you really do have to be trained. It's medicine, people. You should probably have some training. So yeah, this does seem a little bit odd, but I do want to withhold judgment until I see the actual documentation. Now, that's according to Las Vegas-based lawyer Dan Lyard, according to local news that he announced on Tuesday. Now, Lyard said that he was duped during his 2-year pursuit of McKee when the suspected double murderer surgery group allegedly handed out fake addresses and questionable state-issued phone numbers. Interestingly, the address that was given to us by the surgery group that he worked for turned out to be a fake address, Layard told the outlet, referencing the Las Vegas Surgical Associates, LLP. Yeah, I don't know that the limited liability practitioner is going to get you out of giving false information in a lawsuit. I mean, you might want to have legal counsel. I'm not that, but that seems a bit obstruction of justice-y. I don't know if that counts in a civil case, but it seems a little sussy. I would not get my Botox done there is all I'm saying. Now, McKee was named in the medical malpractice suit from a client of the surgical group after a procedure went wrong, requiring the patient to undergo emergency surgery, according to local news citing court records. Now, Layard claimed that McKee failed to train a physician's assistant in whatever procedure, which did lead to that going wrong. McKee held a medical license in Nevada for just over 2 years before it expired last June, 6 months before he allegedly took the life of his ex-wife and her husband. Now, the Nevada lawyer was mystified over McKee's disappearance, claiming it's not typically normal for doctors to vanish. They tend to be highly responsible people. They're not the kind of people who just disappear suddenly, and this was very surprising for us. Yeah, it does seem like there's a whole hell of a lot more to this story, and I'm kind of interested to hear about it, but I do want to wait for it to come out in court. Now, in October, Layard reached out to McKee's colleagues, including Dr. Peter Carvea, who was named alongside the surgeon in the lawsuit during his search for the missing doctors just months before the gruesome murders. He said he had no idea where Michael was. He just disappeared. Now, the judge did side with Laird and granted a declaration of due diligence, which allowed McKee to be notified of a lawsuit by a newspaper notice. Now, a newspaper notice, a rare type of lawsuit serving, is granted when a defendant has departed from the state or cannot, after due diligence, be found within the state, or he conceals himself to avoid being served. Yeah, there's ways around. You can't just get out of a court case by not showing up. That's not how any of this goes. Now, I don't think he's worrying about his medical malpractice right now. Now, he is facing 2 counts of aggravated murder for the December 30th fatal shootings of both of the Teppies. And then it just kind of goes into the background of the case. Now, McKee and Monique, his ex-wife, were married for only 2 years. They did get divorced in 2017, and by all accounts of people around them, it was amicable. They did not have any children. So I do think that there's going to be an interesting look at the psychology of an individual that, for all intents and purposes, appeared to have an amicable breakup with their ex-wife, and then 2 years later comes in. Valor News, this happened on the 20th of December. Basically, a dentist didn't show up to his work in Ohio. He was very punctual. His office buddies, everyone got really concerned. They sent the police over for a wellness check. After a bit of back and forth of who could go in, they went in and found a double homicide, possibly the only silver lining. And it's not really great. The 1-year-old and I think 2-year-old or 3-year-old child that were in the house with their deceased parents were not injured, but they were obviously stuck in the house with their deceased parents. And I don't even know how you begin to fix that. So this will be an interesting case. They didn't have a lead at first. They did release a somewhat grainy Ring doorbell camera, but it seems through canvassing houses very close and around the area, they were able to get clear evidence that this doctor, who was supposed to be in Illinois, his car was seen very near the house, and basically they were able to track him very much. I haven't looked into the paperwork on this one. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I do mornings with Mo, Uvalde, and then I go to bed. That's been my sort of modus operandi these last couple days. I had these great dreams. I started this week. I was like, I have got my book club I need to get going for member stuff. For members, and thank you to who sent me this book. I'm going to start for members trying to read little bits of this book. I know I can have, not that you ask my children, but they don't generally hear the nice mommy voice because they ignore it. But I know that, some people like to hear me read, and we all are true crime nuts, so figure I'll look into these, write a bit more, and then use these as a basis to do a shorter speaking videos where I go over a case and give you kind of a Mo take on it. Because I am trying to give you members more stuff, because I have been the most sucky members person. Nick is a great members content, so I will be doing readings from Pearls of Wisdom and true crimey stuff, because sometimes you just like to listen to something in the background, and it just it takes us out of what we're currently doing. So those are all on the plate. I do actually have my craft section set up. Y'all, I'm going to be honest with you. Uvalde has sucked my energy out. So but it's so intriguing. We are learning so much. Never has my opinion on a defendant changed so much in a trial, because at first I was like, okay, who is this jackass and why do I have to feel sorry for him? I had such a deep visceral anger at the police that did nothing that it transferred over to Adrian Gonzalez, and I was not shy about that. I said I'll be objective. I'll wait for the state to prove its case, but I don't empathize with this man. I'm willing to hear, his side of the story. And as more and more and more has come out, my shock and horror at the laxness of the security of the school, the lax preparedness, the lack of accountability on so many different levels is shocking. I'm almost dumbfounded, and it's incredibly interesting to watch my own perspective change, and I think other people's change as we watch this and realize we didn't know that. Wait, he wasn't in the hallway? Wait, he engaged with the person? So it's very interesting, even though it's a very hard emotional trial. So I do appreciate you guys hanging out and giving both Nick and I the moral support, because I'll be real honest with you. Like, it was cold this morning and I was this tempted to stay. Well, I was this motivated to get out of bed and this tempted to stay in my comfy, snuggly bed. Oh, they kicked off OnlyFans models. Again, how fast can we buy Greenland? Do they take a layaway program? And how quickly can we deport all these people to Greenland, asking for a friend and future president? As your president, all people that annoy me go to Greenland. And lucky for everyone in humanity, my Venn diagram of people who annoy me typically line up with most of humanity's. Oh, for God's sake. Tell me you're an immature twit who needs constant attention without telling me you're an immature twit who needs constant attention. Oh, like you're already, I don't get it. You're already famous for showing your hoochie-magooch. Like, do you need any more attention? Like, if guys can figure out your clam in a lineup, do you really need any more attention? Like, you already have people looking at your butthole. Again, I am happy. Maybe I wasn't meant to be famous, because not one damn person in my hometown knows who I am. I do not advertise that I am a streamer because I want to go to my Walmart and be able to pretend I don't know anyone. But apparently, see, you can tell this is why I wasn't attracted to OnlyFans. 2 intoxicated OnlyFans models were kicked off American Airlines and arrested for wrongly sitting in first-class seats and refusing to get up as they boasted about their arrest across social media. Oh, their moms are so proud. Sanaya Blanchard and Jordan Lantry were put on a viral spectacle in front of curious and, well, just embarrassed for humanity passengers when they were hauled off a plane for their disturbance before a takeoff in Miami International Airport on the 9th. I'm getting kicked out because I did not sit in the right effing seat, yelled Blanchard, who was wearing a red tracksuit with the word psycho written on the chest. It's almost like we could have figured that out without reading, ma'am. Lantry, who was wearing a gray sweatshirt and black leggings, dropped to the floor to do a split, angering the officers who were detaining her. Sorry, I had to do a little yoga, she giggled as she was picked up off the floor. Landry and Blanchard, both 31 and 34 respectively, better known as Sanaya Mallory and Lacey Jane on OnlyFans, were asked multiple times to get their corroditated behinds out of first class. They didn't, so cops helped escort their corroditated behinds off. Who does this? Like, who thinks this is cute? What man wants this? Because this is all to get to, I'm the hot girl. I'm not like everyone. I'm so kooky. No. This is why Because Mr. Mo looked at me one day this week and he was like, "What are you going to do when your boys start bringing over girls?" And I was like, "Oh, sweetheart, I done figured out how I'm going to weed them out." And he looked at me scared because he knows my brain doesn't think like normal people. And he's like, "How are you going to weed them out?" I said, "I have a very simple personality test." And he's like, "Oh, Christ." He's like, "Do they have to sacrifice a chicken?" And I was like, "No, unless they know how to fry it, then have at it." I was like, "No, I'm simply going to sit down with, this little girl, and we're going to watch Forrest Gump and we're going to watch Titanic. And if she doesn't turn around to me and say, 'Rose and Jenny were horrible bitches, I hate both of them,' she's out." If she's like, "That was a great love story, I'm so glad Rose survived," and be like, "Oh, it was nice to meet you, sweetheart. I'm not gonna make you a Christmas stocking. Bye bye." She's like, "Rose survived." She's like, Jenny changed her mind." To be like, "Say hand out." Mr. Mo was like, "You cannot judge people on if they like Jenny from Forrest Gump." I was like, "Oh, hell yes, I can. Hell yes, I can." If you agree with Jenny from Forrest Gump, if you agree that she's not the evil, or if you think she was a good character, you're not dating my son. Also, if you have never watched The Sandlot, but that's more of a parenting thing I will be asking your parents about. I love that. I have no problem with whoever my kiddos bring home, but I'm like, if they think that Jenny's a good character from Forrest Gump, Mr. Mo finds that genuinely hilarious, because I have told each and every one of my kiddos, I'm like, I don't care who you bring home, as long as they love you, you love them, and you both try to make this the best life you can, because life's going to kick you in the front teeth. And so I have always said that, because, my mom, okay, y'all, we got to look, I love my mom. I think it's hilarious, but I did not tell my mom I was dating Mr. Mo. I mean, she knew I was dating someone, because Mr. Mo and my stepdad happened to work at the same National Guard place. And, my stepdad kind of outranked him. And now my mom, being my mom, decided to not listen and go hunt Mr. Mo down during, the guard weekend. My stepfather did not want to be included in this, but he's dragged on this mission, because my mom's hunting down, Mr. Mo to see if, he'll take me for a boat or a goat or something. I don't know. Whatever negotiations happened, and he stuck with me. So she finally finds him. She calls me and legitimately says, "Well, he's not my cup of tea." And I was like, "Mr. Mo, I'm gonna marry you." My mother didn't realize that she had launched my love into the next level, because she was like, "Really?" And I was like, "I'm gonna marry you, Mr. Mo." There is no better way to get into a solid relationship with a woman than having her mother not like you. And her having a distinct desire to just irritate the snot out of her mother. I'm just kidding. I only did that with my red hair. Of course, I did not marry my husband solely to irritate my mother. I had many reasons, like not wanting to drive on the freeway and not wanting to take the trash out. And I loved him. Like, multiple things can be true at the same time. My mom's like, "That's not funny." I'm like, "Mom, that's hilarious." And I was like, and he's like, "Wait, your mom said that?" Because, a good spouse might not even say anything, to protect her partner. No, I could not wait to tell Mr. Mo when he came home from drill weekend. I was like, Mr. Mo, come here." And he's like, what? And I was like, my mom doesn't like you. She wouldn't date you. I love you. Will you marry me? And he's like, why doesn't your mom like me? And I'm like, why would I want to date you if my mom wanted to date you? The fact that she doesn't like you makes you more attractive. And he's like, so it is a selling point that your mom doesn't like me. I was like, you saw the ride, still bought a ticket, bought me a ring. Oh my Bob Ross. Okay, so we are going down the Mo and Mr. Mo love story because it's hilarious. Basically, we met online. Now, he claims that I catfished him. I claim that he just didn't read. But I was a little younger than what he was looking for because we have a 9-year age difference. So we matched together, and okay, this is the most hilarious thing. Mr. Mo isn't in here. I didn't realize this, but like we met on the free dating app because I was a single mom of 3 girls. I ain't paying to talk to boys. Anywho, so I didn't realize that he had been getting ready. Like he had this really nice picture, like he was looking really nice, like professional picture. I didn't realize that he was fixing to pay like a professional matchmaker, like matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match, find me a find, catch me a catch. No. Okay. So I didn't realize that. So these are his glamour shots from like his matchmaking, like, and I have these. I have proof of these. They are staying with me forever until we get our 50th anniversary, and then I'm putting it on a cake. All right. So I basically send him like the put on your running shoes kind of reality of my life. Like, I'm like, look, I'm glad we matched. Here's some realities about me. Like I'm a mom to 3 single kids or 3 girls. You know, I have a lot in my life. My kids will always come first for me. I need someone who understands I'm not, you know, so I just kind of laid it on the line because I'm kind of honest like that and didn't want to, like, dating means I have to people. And y'all realize I would much rather text people. So we ended up getting together. You know, he was normal. I was normal. We had not been together for like 2 months, and we had a free day. We were at his house, and he looks at me and he's like, oh, my mom and stepdad are coming down and they just want to meet you. Now, y'all, all I had heard about his mother at this point was that she had just finished all of her college to become a pastor. And y'all, at this point, me and my relationship with the Lord Almighty were more on a like, I'll text you if I need you. So I didn't know what flavor of Christian I was going to get. I was like, uh-oh. It's like, well, this is going to be interesting. Now, fast forward, this is the sweetest woman I've ever met. Normal as all get out, greatest woman. And I knew I loved her because, y'all, bless their hearts, I done try to tell them that I am euchre resistant. They spent 3 hours trying to play or teach me to play euchre, and by her faith in Jesus alone is all that I think kept her from becoming a heavy drinker. So needless to say, we went together like peas and carrots. And look, y'all, starter marriages are a thing. No, I'm just kidding. In my family, they are. Nothing parties like a rental, and that's kind of like our first marriages. I'm hoping that my children will buck the trend. I'm just saying, nothing parties like a rental. Always have a training marriage if you can. But, you know, marriage is so much more than, you know, the wedding day and everything. And I have been so amazed at how much work sometimes it takes. It's not easy. It does require work, and that's part of growing up. It's part of, you know, realizing that relationships are what you put into them, and you can't just put them on life support. You have to, you know, meet people where they are and grow with them and sit with them when they're uncomfortable and be in a butthole. Although, okay, now, Mr. Mo knows me, so I will say that, like, last night, bless his heart. Okay, so he had just made me a pizza. I got off of the Uvalde stream at like 7 o'clock, and he made me a pizza, and I was like, I sat down to eat my pizza. I don't like mouth noises, and Mr. Mo, eats loudly. He chews loud. Look, I was at the point where I lovingly and with all the respect and love of a Psalm 31 wife turned to my husband and I was like, sweetheart, I love you, but the sounds that you're making with your mouth make me want to smother you. So with all love and perfect marital support, if you do not leave so I don't hear you chewing in 5 minutes, I'm going to need bail money. So marriage is being in love with someone, even though the sound of their chewing makes you want to consider things that might not be legal in any jurisdiction. Because y'all, the chewing thing is real. I didn't realize that I was so tismy about it until like Mr. Mo and I had free time and he could come hang out in my room. He does it to annoy me too. See, that is the fun part of marriage. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. The fun part of marriage is knowing what annoys, like little things that annoy your partner, and doing that at times when they can't retaliate. Case in point, when I send Mr. Mo pictures of Nancy Pelosi's cleavage, I used to do it a lot when he was at work, so he couldn't send it back. And then he will eat nerds very near to me, and I will go into the fetal position. So, find someone that you can annoy with your own special brand of asshole for the rest of your life. Also, remind your husband that aggravating and arousal might both start with A, but will lead to different destinations. Confusing one for the other has never worked in all of humanity. I tell that to Mr. Mo all the time. He has yet to heed the wisdom of it. But in our final story of the day, these people are doing God's work because they are finding my my running mate for my 2024 bid for president. No, 2024 has already happened. My brain is mush. I don't need repeated flashing of Kathy Hochul to terrify me. I'm already terrified of her. Meet the Bigfoot hunters of Hudson Valley who claim that the beast is in fact in New York. I mean, that would explain a lot of things. We've always thought he was a West Coast. Oh my God, maybe he switched sides between the Tupac and Biggie, beef. He was like, oh hell no, they killed Tupac and Biggie. Makes more sense than the Uvalde case at this point. On a sunny, breezy Sunday day at Poets Walk Park in Hudson Valley, the scenic Hudson Valley River adjacent trails were filled with outdoor enthusiasts, all eagerly, taking in the fresh air. But just a few hundred yards away from the day trippers and Lululemon sporting, campers, there's a different scenario. A small group that makes its way through a forest led by longtime local Gail Beatty. Now, they're not here to get their daily steps in. Beatty is an avid Bigfoot researcher. Her crew of hardy upstaters are searching for none other than the actual Bigfoot. Can you imagine if Bigfoot was just a really, really hairy Greek man that lives in upstate New York and everyone's been calling? It's just John Lithgow and his winter hair. God, I need to watch Harry and the Hendersons again. I love that movie. Look, Harry and the Hendersons set me up for like the inevitable link between if I one day go camping, I could in fact find Bigfoot. And I definitely would see. Harry and the Hendersons set us up for failure. We figured if we went outdoors, we would find Bigfoot. So apparently they are part of the Bigfoot researchers of Hudson Valley, and they've seen multiple signs of Bigfoot. Normally Bigfoot is associated with the Pacific Northwest. The Native American legend of Sasquatch or hairy man goes back centuries, while the modern nickname of Bigfoot was coined in the 1950s. Because of a patch of riverfront near Bard College, 2 hours north of Manhattan, they seem to see signs of Bigfoot. Oh no. Okay, can I just join one of these groups? Okay, here's the before you answer yes or no when I ask to join, do be aware that I will be constantly holding in snort laughter. Like when you start saging things, I'm just gonna be like so we might not catch Bigfoot, but I'm going to have a really, really fun day. So how do you feel about this? Can I like give you $5 to just come and laugh at you? With you. I mean, with you, of course, with you. Laugh with you and the join the magic of the Bigfoot hunt. That looks like a bear. I mean, I'm not the most outdoorsy inside cat, but that could be a bear. And this looks like the dingo that ate our baby. What in the crazy hell is this? Also, why does no camera with focus ever catch Bigfoot? Bigfoot must have like an EMP. Bigfoot not only has the ability to play hide and seek, but he also has the ability to turn any recording device into a 1984 Casio speak and spell. Because I know we have 1080K or whatever magical numbers for high resolution. All right, one day we're going on a Bigfoot hunt. Dread Bigfoot? Okay, well, there you go. Oh, apparently, wait a minute, why? This woman leaves loose tobacco out in the woods as an offering to Bigfoot. Again, ma'am, can I follow you? It will be the biggest laugh I will ever have. I'm not a genuinely, optimistic or funny person. This is going to be a blast. I'll be outside. I'll be getting exercise and laughing my ass off. Oh, this is no, why did we take a body of a deer that was potentially killed by Bigfoot? Or a deer that drowned. I mean, I'd be more worried of snapping turtles if I'm honest with you, but snapping turtles are... Wait a minute. She uses an electromagnetic field tester to test for the magnetic... Oh, wait, no. Okay, here's how she explains all of this. We never saw this coming. This explains everything. Bigfoot, which can grow 10 feet tall per cryptozoological canon, is challenging to pin down because along with predator-esque camouflage powers, the chameleonic being can go in and out of dimensions. Well, this explains so much. I mean, how did we miss this? Just like Stranger Things, Bigfoot goes into the upside down. Y'all, God bless Bigfoot people. I love them. I'm glad you found your jam. Who are they hurting? Not nobody. They are out there playing with their scanner, getting fresh air in God's country, looking for Bigfoot in other dimensions, and not talking to me in Walmart. And I just say, for that, God bless them. So now a Paleolithic ape from a megafauna, subset is now imbued with magical powers. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. At this point, I'll allow it. Some days you just have to wonder. Now, I figured since we're watching the trial that we're watching, who better to teach us a little bit of the self-defense rating than Bass Rutten? You may remember him from such things as the 90s and early aughts, and nothing else currently.
Hello.
What is up with his posture? What is this thing? Is he, does he not have a neck? Has he... I look at him and I'm like, you need to go to a chiropractor. And I'm scared of chiropractors, but there is something in that posture that needs to be unkinkulated.
And welcome to Bass Rutten's lethal street fighting self-defense system. Now, I was standing like this and talking to the guy, and suddenly, boom, a headbutt. Bang, follow up with a headbutt. Boom, knee to the head. And look what we got here. Smack his face. Now, this is a very dangerous weapon right here. This is where they put the receipts on. Boom, right elbow, bang, right straight. Maybe now the headbutt comes. Knee to the face, elbow to the groin. Grab him. Look, sir, I really don't want anything of this. And I go whoop, like this, and I slit your throat, and it's over and out. Bang, right elbow, boom, left straight, kick to the head, boom, bang, bang.
Okay, was Bass Rutten a WWE guy? I've heard the name. I know I've heard the name, but I don't know who was he from, like Blink 182? Look, y'all, I found Weird Al and I stopped, okay? So I don't know who oh, all right. Well, then he does know what he's doing. So it's not like Tiger Size. Okay. I mean, he did look more muscular than, the guy who tried to teach us Tiger Fu.
Bang, bang, boom. Stab his own knife here in the liver. Drop, boom, boom. I'm sorry. Bang, bang, bang. No, I'm not.
You know what I'm imagining? What we need is a Bass Rutten Mo collaboration where he does it and then I try to do it with my bad leg, and I then explain to a doctor why I'm in traction. Because let's be real, he, unlike most of us, me included, can lift his leg above his hip and not lose balance. I cannot do that. So I am hoping Mr. Mo watched Bass Rutten.
Bang, 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 don't you ever.
Oh my gosh. I would so add my own sound effects to Bass Rutten. You are a genius. I will follow you because I'd add my own sound effects.
Do this. If something happens to you or they touch your family, you got my blessing. Take them out. Hasta la vista.
Bass Rutten is not going to be defending you legally. Do check with your localities and a defense attorney before listening to Bass Rutten or trying to use as a defense that VHS Bass Rutten gave you perfect and complete, exoneration for your actions. Don't do that. Now, I admit that I have a really weird bucket list, but I was unaware that ostrich races with chariots were a thing, and now I desperately want to be an ostrich racer before I die. Because what in the awesome
and here
is...
we
Look
go
at this!
for the ostrich derby. And they're off. Cats don't zig for between horses for the lead. Where's Dorinda on the inside? And Bird here, erratic on the outside. Cats don't zig is actually zagging on the outside. But
First of all, we have an announcer, which this is effing hilarious. But did you know that ostriches could race? I didn't know. I mean, I knew they couldn't fly. But this is the most hilarious thing. I would go to Walmart in this. Me and my ostrich Myrtle just go to Walmart like, hey, that Myrtle? Oh, Mo's here. She must be getting bread. Hey, if it would piss off my HOA, I'd get 3 ostriches and call them chickens.
Cats Don't Zig is charging hard and drawing clear to win the Ostrich Derby. Where's Dorinda was second, although there might be an inquiry. And unfortunately, we have drivers out of the bikes. We have bikes off the ostriches, and we have ostriches heading for the trailer in the 5th annual Ostrich Derby tonight here at the Big M.
I didn't know that this was a thing, but now I desperately want to just have like an ostrich, I don't know, an ostrich ranch, and I just, take my ostrich cart everywhere. I mean, I don't know why. Now, I needed kind of a little like chat. My grandmother loves these dolls, and I know she loves these dolls, but they terrify me. So I needed to know if I'm the only one that's terrified of these dolls, because she loves them, and I love that she loves them. I love that she has a collection that makes her happy. But these dolls absolutely terrify me. But in the Annabelle...
All porcelain Pouty is a heart stealer. Lorene designed this dress for her, hoping to dry her tears. Maybe a hug would also help? Is Twerp ready for Paris? Or more appropriately, is Paris ready for Twerp? Danielle is an all porcelain.
Were there any doilies left in the tri-state area after y'all were done decorating? Also, yikes. Well, okay, I'm glad that we figured out that they were creepy, because I feel bad because we were kind of talking one day and she's like, "Oh, would you like these dolls?" And I'm like, if anyone else really, really wants them, I don't want to take the opportunity of having these dolls away from anyone else who really loves them. And I'm proud of myself because I think my voice didn't sound terrified when I was like, no. Look, I know how I bet everyone just wants to have one of those, and I don't want to be greedy. But that's the cool thing about, everyone having their own different thing. If your thing is, other people find it weird or creepy, you'll find your bee people. Look, I didn't think I'd find a tribe that wanted to go over weird news and whatever I find on my algorithm. But eventually you'll find your people, whether they be ostrich riders or doll collectors, and you'll just find your tribe. Hopefully you think it's here. If you do, please try to subscribe if you're on Replay Crew. And if you are currently subscribed or think you're currently subscribed, do double check once in a while. Not just me, but your other favorite creators, because sometimes YouTube tends to think that they know better than you and they would like to unsub you. So if you haven't seen things from your favorite creators, do a little check, make sure that you haven't been unsubbed against your knowledge. And I will see you guys in a little bit for a bit of Morning with Uvalde, and then I will be back probably before the afternoon stream starts. So let's get running on this. Let's see, I am on page 173 of notes, and I do think that that's going to be a continuing problem for the state. Jurors may not have any sort of comprehension of how a trial goes. So when I take notes, I know kind of where the state might be going, and they're going to have to throw it through a lot of chaff. So it's going to be interesting. Thanks for hanging out with us. I do have you redirected over to Nick, so I will see you in just a little bit. Bye, you guys.